introduction that you, 16 years ago, decided to start your own design business, right? Why did you decide to do that?
I decided to do that because I'd worked for a number of, I guess, two major places. One employer for 8 years and another employer for 13 years, and you know, with that kind of a chunk of time, you're putting your heart and soul into it, you know. And so as you get a little bit older and you think about, okay, it's time to leave this job now, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go do this again for somebody else, and it's just, frankly, I didn't have it in me to do it for somebody else again. You know, I thought, you know, I'm going to do it for myself. You know. When I was in high school, I had lots of shop classes, the wood shop and metal shop and printing and drawing and everything you'd have that wasn't related to English or math or science, you know. And
Although it had all of that in
yeah,
it.
yeah. So and I had a good friend that he was 1 year ahead of me in school, and he worked a co-op type program, and so the last half of the day in his senior year, and so I looked forward to doing that, and so when I guess at the start of my senior year, or just before, there was an advertisement for a tool and die maker in the newspaper. And my dad must have told me, because I had no idea, with all my shop classes and metal shop and stuff, they don't teach you what a tool and die maker is. So I had no clue whatsoever. You know, I wanted to be a machinist. And what is this tool and die maker? Okay, it's sort of like a machinist. And so, frankly, to this day, I don't remember exactly how I found out that this is what I want to do. Okay, this is sort of like a machinist. So I went and applied. It was in Racine, Wisconsin. I grew up in Racine County. And I applied, and the gentleman said, he was a 70-year-old guy, and said, oh yeah, this would be great. And so, or actually, it was mid-year. It was at Christmas time. It was at the mid-year. And so he said, yeah, this would be great, you know, go get. And so I went to school, and I told him what I wanted to do, and so I talked to the guidance counselor, and it turns out I went to a school, Wisconsin Lutheran High School, and there was one religion credit that I was missing, and I could only get it in the afternoon. So that was it. I couldn't do it. And so I went back and told the guy, and he said, well, come back and see us in May when you graduate. And I thought he was just being nice. You know, who's going to wait around? And so I came back in May, and he was like, oh, there you are. We didn't think you were going to come back. And so I started working there, and it was a small tool and die shop with just two journeyman tool and die makers. And it was a wonderful place to start for my first 2 years, because I tell people there's only so many toilets to clean and so many deliveries to make and stuff like that. So they got to give you something real to do. And so then I learned about I learned about an opportunity for a union shop that was just 5 days. I was there because I was 19 and I grew up across the street from a farm, and yeah, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to work up a sweat, and so that didn't work out there well. And then I went to this other place. And that's where I was for 13 years in Cudahy, Wisconsin. And it was called Progressive Tool and Die. And we did a lot of fine blank dies and a lot of hinge dies. And it was cool because after a couple or a few years, I started doing, I don't remember what possessed me to do this, but I started doing die design at home on the drawing board. I got myself a drawing board, and so for the last of those 13 years, probably the last 10 of them or something, I spent doing die design part-time at home in the evenings.